Hello everybody! I'm re-recording this video because the first time that I did it, my mic was off. So I hope you guys are having a good time. I just spent 30 minutes reacting to a video, getting angry, and all of that get thrown out. Awesome, right? Anyway, like, subscribe. Let's make fun of Veilguard again. Alright? Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, so we've got Mark Dara here. And he's talking about how just because you bought a game, that does not entitle you to be mean and cruel and make fun of the developers of that game now that they are being fired. I disagree because those developers, and I mean, I will say this. He's right. Just buying the game doesn't entitle you to be cruel and mean. What does entitle you to be cruel and mean is when those developers are cruel and mean to you first, right? Because when the game was coming out, everybody was saying, oh, this game's going to be bad, this game's going to be bad, this game's going to be bad because of this, and this, right? Like, we are seeing that you don't care about the setting, you don't care about the characters, you only care about, your message, right? This woke shit that people don't really vibe with, and I'm saying woke specifically about the idea of the only thing that matters is the diversity and the inclusion and nothing else, right? I understand Baldur's Gate 3 is a woke game. I understand all Dragon Age Origins is a woke game, and these were amazing games. But the problem is not that there is woke. The problem is that there is nothing but woke, right? Like, it's a very simple concept. This is the only time in the video that I'm going to be talking about using that word. It's not because that's not the problem, right? The problem is that when people said, hey, this is not good, this isn't that interesting, this is not how these characters should be talking, this is not how these characters should be expressing themselves, the response was to insult us, to call us racist, bigots, all types of phobes and ists and whatever, right? And that's how you make enemies. And so now we're laughing at you because you failed and you deserve to fail. But anyway, let's listen to Mark Dara here, or Dara, or whatever his name is, get mad about it.
Did you read the title? Did it say something like your $70 doesn't buy you cruelty?
Yes, you're wrong.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you bought a game that you didn't like doesn't give you the right to be cruel or unkind to the people that developed that game.
Yes, it does. If I go to a restaurant and I say, hey, I would like a steak, medium rare, and they serve me a I don't know, a fillet of salmon overcooked with the wrong sauce, and then I say, hey, this isn't what I ordered, and then they insult me to my face, I am going to be mean and cruel. I am going to go there because you've now escalated the situation. You didn't serve the product you promised to serve. I paid you a premium. You insulted me, and so now you suffer the consequences. Get fucked.
Now, I'm going to be clear about something. I'm not saying that you have to like the thing you bought.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not saying even that you aren't allowed to complain about the thing
Yes, you are.
bought. You can have...
Yes, you are. Yeah, that is exactly what you're saying, because this is basically sure, you're allowed to complain, just not to me. Just don't get mad at me, right? Don't get mad at the people that I don't want you to get mad at. The problem is, the people that we are getting mad at are the exact people responsible for the bad product. It's the writers. It's the directors. It's the people who were responsible. Nobody's getting mad about at the coders, the people who coded the game. Nobody's mad about those guys. Nobody's throwing hate at the voice actors. You know one voice actor that actually got a lot of hate? The voice actor for Davrin. You want to know why? Because he's right wing. That's the one voice actor that's gotten a shit ton of hate, that's gotten death threats, that's gotten all sorts of things. The voice actor for Davrin. Because he's a right winger. That's it. That's the one. Nobody else. You want to know why? Because when it came out and people started to say, this isn't that great, this isn't that great. Yeah, the voice actors are doing their best, but it's like, this isn't that great. You know what the voice actors did? They said, yeah, it could have been better. And they stayed out of the conversation. You know what the writers did? They insulted the fans. And the actual fans, right? I'm talking about like the people who enjoyed Dragon Age for, at this point, 15 years. You know, from Origins. People who played Origins, people who played Dragon Age 2, people who suffered through Inquisition. You know, those people are the fans. The people who drew fanfics of the characters and never touched the games, and who rewrote the story in their mind so that it fits more closely with their personal preference, those aren't fans of the game. Those are people who are looking at its ass while it walks past. Those aren't people who are engaging in the actual fantasy. They're not people who are engaging in anything. They're not people who give a shit about what's in the actual game. They are people who just really like the little gay blorbos that they want to play with, right? That's it. Those aren't fans. And neither were any of the people in charge of this product, right? You had the game director had never played a Dragon Age game in her life. She should never have even been within 50 feet of this fucking game, let alone been actively working on it.
Whatever
I said 50 feet. I meant 500.
opinion that you feel like towards a game, even if that opinion is stupid and wrong.
Thank you for proving me wrong, Marky. Even if your opinion is stupid and wrong, you're allowed to have it. The only person here with a stupid and wrong opinion is you. You want to know what I have in terms of proof for that, Mr. Marky Mark? It's the fact that your game sold 1.5 million copies in 3 months when it comes from a franchise that does double that in a quarter of the time. Inquisition sold 3 million copies in a month. Dragon Age Origins sold 3 million copies in a few months. Dragon Age 2 sold 2 million copies in 2 months. Hell, if I'm not mistaken, Inquisition outsold Veilguard in its first week. So the idea that somehow we're the stupid ones, go fuck yourself. I hope you got fired too. I'm happy everybody involved got fired. I'm happy. I'm happy about that. You want to know why? Because if I make a bad product, I get fired. So if you make a bad product, you should get fired.
Wrong. You are entitled to that opinion. And to some degree, you're entitled to express that opinion to the corporation, to the video game studio that created this game that you bought. You paid 70 of your own dollars for this game, and it disappointed you.
Yeah, insulted is the correct term. Because if it is just, it's a little disappointing. Oh, well. They tried their best. They're taking the criticism. They're saying, yeah, you're right. We could have done this. We could have done that. We wish we could have done this. Unfortunately, because of these reasons, we weren't able to. Yeah, you're right. It could have been better. Yeah, that's disappointing. But that's not what happened. It's, I don't like this. Fuck you! Oh, okay, that's what we're playing. That's the game we're playing. Go fuck yourself then. No. No. This wasn't about disappointment. This was about you insulted us. So fuck you.
And you're angry about that. That is fine. You are entitled to...
Also, what you did to the franchise, right? Fuck you for what you did to the franchise.
To be angry about it. And you're entitled to express that anger in certain channels.
What the fuck do you mean, in certain channels? You can only express your anger in the places that I think are proper. Fuck you. I'll express my anger in whatever channel I decide.
If you are mad at that Ubisoft game, be mad at Ubisoft. Express...
I'm going to be mad at the people in charge of the fucking game. I'm going to be mad at the writers for the bad writing. I'm going to be mad at the director for the bad direction. I'm going to be mad at the combat developers for the bad combat. I'm not going to just be mad at the Faceless Corporation because the Faceless Corporation is faceless. And it's like, oh, they made us do it this way. No, they didn't. They didn't walk up to you and said, bro, like, you gotta make it suck. You gotta make the game suck. Like, I understand that you want the game to be good, but no, we are telling you that you have to make it bad. No, that's not what happened. I guarantee that's not what happened. I'm so mad I've taken my legs off of the table and onto my chair. That's how mad this guy's making
your anger to Ubisoft or to the studio that made the game. But
yes, and we are mad at the studio, right? And somehow we're the bad guys. I thought this was what you wanted us to do, brother.
You cross a line when you start being cruel about it.
No, because you did it first. You took what was ours, and then you said, haha, look, we're taking what is yours, and we're making it ours, and we're making it suck to spite you. And then you laughed about it. And when people said, hey, you know how this game is based on European fantasy? Why is everybody brown-skinned? Why are the Italians very clearly based on Muslim aesthetics in terms of like their facial structure? Why is everybody brown-skinned? I made a white guy, and I was the only one. I was the only white guy in the entirety of Veilguard. That's a problem, right? Because Thedas is literally Europe flipped upside down, right? So the very concept that we're the bad guys here doesn't compute.
So why am I saying you don't get to be cruel because you spent $70?
Oh, because now the cruelty is turned on you. Because here's the thing, if your game had done really well, you know what Mark Dara here would have been doing? He would have been doing victory laps. He would have been saying, haha, look at that, all of you stupid homophobes and racists, ha 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 ha, we win, get fucked, pussy. That's what you would have been doing. But because you lost, now you're saying, you shouldn't be cruel about it, you should be nice to us. Fuck you.
Let's walk through it. 1, you shouldn't be cruel at all. What are you doing?
Okay, don't start it then.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. Fuck you.
You don't need to go out of your way to cause harm to other people.
Then don't do the same thing to us. That's it. It's as simple as that, right? It's a video game. Okay, then don't make it a cultural statement. You made it a cultural statement. It is now more than a video game because of you. See, when you take something that is supposed to just be fantasy and you say, well, we felt as though we needed to do more. We felt as though we needed to make a cultural statement about how, white people aren't allowed to have their own space in fantasy, and so we took that away. We felt as though we needed to make it clear that all of the characters are pansexual because, just being straight is weird. Statements made by them, right? When somebody said, well, what about Cassandra, right? We liked Cassandra, and they have the audacity to say, well, we made Cassandra straight, and that was probably a mistake. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was a good story decision because it made the character more complex. And sure, a bunch of people had their feelings hurt because they wanted to romance Cassandra, and they couldn't, but that doesn't make it bad.
Because of a video game that you don't like.
Yeah, it's actually because of the cultural statements that you made. And the insults as well.
Again, I'm not saying you're not allowed to be angry about it. I'm not saying you don't get to...
Yes, you are.
...express your dissatisfaction.
Yes, you are. Because the idea that you can express your dissatisfaction, but it has to be how I want it, you're basically saying you're not allowed to express your dissatisfaction. Come on, everybody can see what you're doing here. Everybody knows that what you're actually doing is complaining about people having the wrong opinion. You're not complaining about how they're doing it. It's like, what are you doing? Fuck you.
With the content of the game that you're not enjoying.
Well, here's the thing. When we had a problem with the content, you called us names. So now we're attacking you directly. See, this really does come down to a very simple give and take. And this is something that everybody's aware of, right? Everybody knows this. Everybody's seen this. It's ridiculous to pretend otherwise. When a game comes out, and that game is bad, people complain about the game. They don't go after studios unless... well, actually, no. They go after studio. Like, if the game is really bad and and none of the devs go to Twitter and attack people, like, they attack the studio. They say, wow, this really sucks. This studio really fucked things up. So long as you keep it faceless, the only people getting hate are the studio. And it's the whole studio, right? It's no one in specific, it's the studio. And then people just look at the leadership and they say, wow, this person was really bad leadership. And then that person, gets fired, and then he immediately gets hired somewhere else. Gordon Bush. Sorry, I had to cough. Anyway, when you then see people going, I don't like this part of the game, and then you take to Twitter, you pick up your phone and you go, wow, Twitter is filled with racists who dislike my game, If you dislike my game, you're a racist and a homophobe, and I hope you die. And your family disowns you. And everybody you love gets burned alive. If you do that, you deserve all the hate. Because you've now made yourself a fair target. Because you've now turned yourself into a combatant. So at that point, fuck you.
But when you climb into someone's personal social media,
No, 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 no. You don't get to do that. You don't get to say, oh, it's my personal social media. Okay, then don't use it for this. Don't use it for this. It's as simple as that. If you don't want to be attacked in your personal social media, do not attack people in your personal social media. It's as simple as that.
and start actively attacking that person. When you celebrate layoffs at a studio,
I am going to celebrate the fact that somebody that is doing a bad job got fired. Yes.
because the game that you don't
The same way that you celebrate when a content creator you don't like gets removed. The same way you celebrate when a person who says something you disagree with had their account removed. The same way you celebrate when the people you are hostile against lose something.
like didn't do that well. You're crossing a line
No,
into
you're
being
not. No. See, crossing a line would be death threats. Crossing a line would be doxing people. So long as it's online and we're just talking, yeah, no, that's not crossing a line at all. No, go fuck yourself. You deserve it. You deserve it because you made yourself exposed to it. Fuck you. I've been just repeating myself like for 16 minutes at this point, and it's yeah, fuck this guy.
cruel. And fundamentally, you should have more grace for other human beings.
Okay. No. You want to know why? Because of everything I've already said. You started it. He's making statements. He's making statements of fact. He's not giving any like further depth to it. He's not acknowledging who started it, right? If you walk up to somebody, slap him in the face, and then they turn around and they hammer your face into the fucking ground, you don't get to stand up and say, you didn't have to be cruel about it. You don't get to just hit me. You started it.
But if you're not buying that, let's go on to point 2. You don't know what caused the results that you don't like.
Sure I do. Of course we do. Of course we know. Yes, we know what caused it. Because see, here's the thing. You want to know what people didn't like about Veilguard? Above all else, right? If everything else is the same and this one thing gets changed, the game goes from a 5 to a 9 out of 10. And I say it's a 5 for people who aren't Dragon Age fans. For the Dragon Age fans, it's a 2 and a 3, right? But because they value this one thing above all else. You change the writing, the game is better. And then you go look at the writers, and you look at what their priorities are, and you realize that their priority was never making a good game. Their priority was always sending a message. And if your only priority when making a video game is to send a message, and it's not to write a good story, it's not to make a good character, it's not to make anything engaging, it's just message, you're going to fuck it up. We know why the game sucked. It's because the writers sucked. Oh, but these writers made other good things in the past. Good for them. Maybe they should have learned from that instead of just going, well, now that we've done good things in the past, people will just buy whatever the shit we fuck out.
Let's go through an example. Let's say that you don't like the line delivery on a piece of dialogue.
Nobody gives a shit about line delivery. Although line delivery was terrible for Tash. Like, seriously, that woman that you hired for Tash, wrong fucking person. Right? That was, like, if you look at that actress, that screams the most unfuckable creature you've ever witnessed, who really thinks they're irresistibly attractive. Like, fucking growling, like, what the fuck is that? You don't know how to fucking growl? Really? You don't know how to, you don't know how to do that? Like, or you don't have the fucking mic to do that properly? Then fucking don't. Hell, use a fucking sound effect. What the fuck was... What the fuck is that in my ear? What are you doing? It's like a little bit of biting and some burns. And then fucking Rook goes, yes, please. What the fuck is that? You think that's hot? You call that good line delivery? Oh, maybe she was told to do it that way. Okay. Don't do that.
Is that the fault of the voice actor?
Yes.
It might be, but it could be a lot of other things.
It's either the voice actor or it's the voice director. Both of them are at fault. It's also the casting guy. It's the whole studio needed to be canned. Genuinely, straight up.
Things too. It might be the fault of the person who was directing that voice actor. Maybe they were given...
Why does he keep stopping, right? Like, he talks like he thinks that the next word out of his mouth is so important that he needs to talk really slow and eloquent. Like, this guy has a script. He's reading from a script. That's why he keeps jump cutting, right? He's got a script. He's jump cutting. He knows what he's going to say next. Stop fucking pretending like you're thinking about it.
Very specific instructions to deliver the line in this particular way. Maybe the writer who wrote that line wanted it delivered in this particular way.
Okay, so it's the writer's fault. Okay, so that's the people that people are mad about. So what are you complaining about?
And the stage direction specified this particular line delivery. Maybe the recording equipment at the voice studio went down and the only take they managed to get was this first one.
What? The voice equipment went down. Oh no, bro. No. The $1 million studio doesn't have voice equipment. No. Are you serious? Like, oh man, the voice equipment went down. We'll just come back tomorrow and do it again. Do you see that? It's all of your excuses out the fucking window.
One that was done just to set the tone, and they were just kind of out of time and stuck with it.
Bullshit. We were out of time 10 years. Fuck you. Oh, we actually reset it, like, so it was actually 6 years. Okay, 6 years. Fuck you. You want to know? You want to know what else was made in 6 years? Origins.
So if you go and
So if you had 6 years to make this game, it should be at least as well written. Because here's the thing, Origins. You want to know what those 6 years was? Most of those 6 years was writing. It was writing lines. It was making sure it was good. It was all in the writing. Like, they also made the game, but if I'm not mistaken, like, the actual, like, basis of it was done in, like, 2, maybe 3 years. And then the rest of it was writing. And you want to know something else that Origins had that Veilguard doesn't? And that no other game other than Origins in Dragon Age has? That they should all have? You could make your own campaigns. It had like a campaign creator. You should add that. You want to know why? Because then people can make their own content and all you have to do is rack in the money. It's an easy decision to make if you give a shit about fan content. But you don't. You don't care about fans, which is why you made this video, which honestly I'm done watching cuz I've already reacted to it once and I'm not doing it again, right? Like it's because as I said at the start, like the fucking mic cut out, but whatever, man. Like I'm not even gonna fucking recommend this video. Go find it yourself. Like seriously, this guy doesn't deserve the view. It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. It's like if I was sitting here, a small YouTuber, complaining about why am I not getting tens of thousands of views on my video? Because nobody gives a shit, right? Nobody knows who I am. People have to get to know me. People have to see a bunch of videos of me before they start to trust my opinions. That's how that works. People have to give a shit. And when you make a game, and that game is bad, and your response, rather than, you're right, yeah, we could have done a lot better. We could have done a lot better. And instead it's, yeah, you're wrong. Your opinion is stupid. You're a racist. You're a homophobe. Don't state your opinion that way. Yeah, no, you're just wrong. You're just outright right wrong. There's nothing to be saved from your statement because all you're doing is trying to shift the blame from yourself and onto the audience. The audience isn't at fault for your shit sucking. Your shit sucks because you're bad. You got fired because you're bad. I'm happy you got fired. You want to know why? Because I bought that fucking developer concept art book. You want to know what I saw there? Missed opportunities. I saw a thing there where it's like, oh, this Tevinter suit, which, enhances magic. Why wasn't that in the game? Oh, because you're lazy? Okay. You look at Dragon Age Origins. You see 3 monsters, each one with the same exact body and skeleton, slightly different names. Each one has a different mechanic that you need to engage with if you're going to fight at the highest difficulty. You look at Veilguard, you've got 5 different monsters with different skins, with different everything, same skeleton, same abilities, same mechanics. What are we doing here? You have less enemy variety in Veilguard than you did in Dragon Age 2. The main complaint about Dragon Age 2 was enemy variety. How did you fuck this up? Every fucking enemy in Veilguard is the same. We've got 3 different skins of ogres. What are you doing? What was the thinking here? There was no thinking. You were lazy. And then when people complained and said, this kind of sucks, you insulted us. And now you stand here on your 10 toes as if we're the bad guys. Oh, your $70 doesn't buy you cruelty. You're right. It buys standards. There's a level that you need to meet if you're going to stand here and make a product and sell it for $70. It's the same shit with Avowed. There's a reason Avowed is doing so fucking bad. It did worse than Veilguard, and it deserved to do worse than Veilguard. All right? It's top 2 in Steam, top sellers. It beat out KCD2. No, it didn't. No, it didn't, because that's a daily thing. The game came out, a bunch of people bought it. You want to know what else came out on that day? Nothing. That's why it did so well on that day. You want to know what happened immediately after? Fell the fuck off. Because people started playing it and went, wow, this is fucking boring. Oh, it's an RPG where you can't do RPG things? You can't steal? You can't fucking attack NPCs? Wow, that's fucking boring. Oh, you can't be evil? Wow, that's fucking boring. And by the way, lawful good all the way. I don't go attacking NPCs. I don't go stealing. I don't do the evil playthroughs almost ever. You want to know what feels good, though? Being a good guy when you could have been a bad guy. That feels awesome. I played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 like a couple months ago. I made an evil playthrough. You want to know what was pretty cool? Finding out that if you're evil in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, the guards attack you on sight. That was pretty cool to find out. And I was like, wow, this puts my lawful good playthroughs in a whole different perspective. It makes my lawful good playthroughs feel much better because, hey, it's nice to know that people don't just like me by default. That's not the case in Veilguard. Everybody just likes you. Except for the couple NPCs that you want people to hate. And Twitter eats that shit up. Oh my god, the Grey Warden Commander, the first Warden is such a piece of shit. Fuck that guy. Yeah, and then if you actually give him a fucking chance, he immediately turns around. I.e., proving he's not a bad guy. This retard who is trying to convince you, the consumer, that you're in the wrong, is an idiot. He's not just an idiot. He's maliciously stupid. And I would go so far as to say he's a manipulative piece of shit. Mark Dara was responsible, I think he was a producer. Even in Origins, he had a bigger position in Dragon Age 2. Yeah, I guess that explains why that game sucked dick. It explains why the combat was worse than Origins. It explains why the story, I'm not going to say that, because the story was actually pretty good. The companions were pretty good. But somehow you fucked up the direction of the game. Go figure. You fucked up the actual game. Oh, but the story's good. Where's the game? Oh, the game sucks? Congratulations. Get out of my face. You want to know why Origins is still so good? Even, if, like, sure, it doesn't have as much players. Oh, go figure. It's an old, dated game. that you refuse to remaster because, oh, we fired everyone. Go fucking hire them again. Go find them. Go get them back. Remaster that game. Sell it again. You want to know how you make a shit ton of money off of Dragon Age? You remaster Origins. You take custom campaigns. You make them a big selling point. You make it so that people can make their own shit. And then you say, hey guys, and when you're done with the story, play these host of fan-made content. Go do that. Go have fun. We even made our own. Here you go. You start with this one already installed just to see how you can do your own thing. It's almost like a tutorial thing. Have fun. You know, you do that. You do that and you'll see. But I'm done yelling at this idiot. I am done. Seriously, this is like the 4th video I've made on Veilguard after saying I was done talking about Veilguard, because I really don't want to talk about Veilguard anymore. But then these idiots keep talking, and then I have to talk about it as well. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, some people deserve the hate. Some people deserve to be hated, and some people just don't deserve to work creative jobs. And none of these people deserve to work creative jobs because they're not creative. All right? I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Cheers. God damn it.